Hello and welcome to another session by the community reporters here at Microsoft Ignite. I'm absolutely delighted to have some European guests here today. I'll let them introduce themselves.
Thank you. My name is Maarten Eekels. I am from the Netherlands and I am CTO of a company called Portiva. We do cloud implementations, Microsoft cloud implementations. I'm a regional director for Microsoft and a Microsoft MVP in Microsoft Office services and apps. Jussi.
Hi all, my name is Jussi Roine. I'm based in Helsinki, Finland, and I'm the Chief Research Officer at a company called Sulava, which I know it's hard to pronounce. I'm also a Microsoft Regional Director and a Microsoft MVP.
Oh, thank you both for joining us. I'm just a new regional director, so I'm learning tips off these guys. So it's been really great for me to meet them today. So I'm just really love to know what you think about Ignite this year. So what's new for you? So Maarten, we'll start with you.
Absolutely. I think Ignite, what I really like about Ignite is one conference where they cover both Azure and Office 365, both from a development perspective and from an IT pros perspective and a business perspective as well. So you can find anything you want here if you are working in the Microsoft ecosystem. And I really like that. And what I try to do, because my job is all around Office 365 and my MVP is around Office 365. So what I like here is that I can go beyond the regular boundaries. I can actually go to Azure development sessions to learn about that, because that's a little bit out of my comfort zone. And that I really like very much. But if I look at my own space, then I think the session that Jeff Tieper did at 4 p.m. on Monday, if you haven't seen that session, please go and watch that recording. Officially it was a session of 75 minutes, but they went on and on and on. Wow. They had so much news to tell about SharePoint and OneDrive and the integration with Teams and teamwork. And I think the whole session was more than 90 minutes, and it was absolutely a great session.
Wow, that sounds amazing. I love the same thing about Ignite, that we are constantly finding we can just go into areas which we are not necessarily specialist in, but we should know about them. It's great to have that choice. It's like a pick and mix, a variety box,
I agree.
Box of chocolates almost. It's a bit about yourself, Jussi. What do you think?
For me, Ignite this year, it feels even more massive than the couple of the previous ones. There's so many people, so many sessions, so much happening at the same time. Yeah. And what I try to do, I try to understand both Microsoft 365, which also includes Windows 10 and Office 365, and a lot of the Azure-based content. But then I also need to understand the Azure-based services, not just beyond the infrastructure, but also everything on the security side as well. Yeah. And to me, probably the highlight so far this week was the Monday session by Scott Guthrie and Julia White. That was one of the technical keynotes, I would say. Yes. And it's really hard at times to keep track of everything that's happening with the different services. So it's good that we have the real keynote by Satya Nadella, and then we have the deeper keynotes dissecting the exact technologies and highlighting what's up and coming.
Yeah, that sounds really great, and I think you're right. It's great. You can go broad or you can go deep. Yep. So it's all like with this T-shape where we can learn about things which are important to us, but then we can go deep dive when we need to. So Maarten, what was the sort of main piece of exciting news at Microsoft Ignite that was really key for you and your customers?
I think the integration between Teams and SharePoint and Outlook and the whole ecosystem is really coming together now, and that's for me the most exciting news. The fact that what I saw in a session, very cool feature, is that what is coming is that, for example, when you go to a SharePoint team site and you're in a library and you're in a folder in that document library, you will see a message that that particular folder is actually connected to a channel in a Microsoft team. And there's a button there, let's go to the conversations that correspond with this, that are attached to this particular folder in this document library. And that's cool, right? That's from a user experience perspective. That's exactly how it should be. Yes. And finally, that whole integration stuff is really coming together, and that's what I really like. Yeah.
Oh, I love that idea. I hadn't heard that news actually. Yeah. And it sounds almost very forgiving of the way that users actually work.
Exactly.
Because we don't think in a linear, horizontal fashion. We like to sort of we search for things and we do it in a much more nebulous way. It's not always very easy to say in a folder structure, I need to find this.
Exactly, true.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, that's great. Oh, I hadn't heard of that. That was good to know.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm learning as well. The reason I'm doing these interviews is so I can learn things. Which about yourself, you say? What do you think?
For me, there were a couple of ones. One was the Microsoft Threat Protection, which combines the previous threat protection products under one umbrella brand, in a sense. And I think that's part of a larger approach from Microsoft. Similar to what they announced this week is the Microsoft Search, which combines a unified search against different products, including Office 365. And I think it's a good approach, because people might get confused, and then companies are confused. What should we use and when, and what capabilities do we have here and there? And now when we start getting more of these umbrella brands and names on capabilities that we can then pick and choose on different platforms, I think it's a wise move business-wise as well.
I think the Microsoft 365, the new portal, is also an example for that, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. I always think, I don't know about you, but I can never find the documents I'm looking for. So I'm really glad to hear that they're moving and doing some really great things with search. Again, very forgiving of users. I just have a bad memory, but it's great they're thinking of people like me when they're doing this.
Yep.
I think also threat protection is really important. I understand they've been doing lots of really great, interesting things, lots of key messages there. So have you managed to see any sessions this week apart from the technical keynotes, or have you just been really busy trying to prepare and look at other sessions?
Both. I've been working at the Microsoft Teams booth as well yesterday, but I managed to see a couple of sessions, and I like the fact what you said about search, because that what they showed in one of the keynotes on Monday, the integration of search and how fast it was, that you don't even have to type and it already shows you the results you're looking for in search. That's really awesome. And they showed Bing. It used to be called Bing for Business. They have a new name for it now. I don't remember exactly, but it integrates. You go to Bing and you search both the web and your Office 365 environment from one search experience. That's very cool. Yeah.
That is very cool, because it means that you can actually find your documents in your browser as well.
Exactly. Are you looking for stuff internally from your own company or externally? It doesn't really matter. You're looking for something around a certain topic, and it doesn't really matter where that information is coming from, right? Could be both internally and externally, and I think that really works well.
Oh, that's great. That's really good to know. I'll be looking for that.
Yeah, me too.
Which about yourself, you say? Did you manage to see any sessions so far?
I had a chance to go to a couple of sessions, but since I have a few of my own, and also there's a lot of people to meet here, and a couple of meetings as well for us, I think that the most value that I get out of this is the community and making new connections and meeting new people.
Yes.
But as well, when you have your own sessions, you're kind of stressing out a bit on those, even though you know it's going to go quite well.
Yes.
So what I did, I attended a couple of the mechanics live sessions.
Oh, okay.
Because they are not that scripted. They're more like, we'll show you this, let's see how it goes.
Oh, good.
And since we get a recording of most of the breakout sessions as well, what I traditionally do, I try to download all of those.
Yes.
And when I get back home and I go running in the evenings, I try to listen on those. But there's about 900 of those, so I need to run a lot.
That's a lot of miles.
Yeah.
That's good for your stamina.
Yeah.
So when are your sessions? What are you talking about?
I had one yesterday, and that was on getting started on AI in Office 365 and Azure. And the two I have on Friday, one is on Microsoft 365 security, and one is on Azure governance.
Oh, okay, gosh. Azure governance is a really important topic, particularly GDPR. Everyone's talking about that at the moment. So those sound like really great sessions to attend. And what about yourself? Are you speaking this time or attending other sessions?
I'm not speaking. I'm helping out with sessions. So there's 2 team sessions that I'm helping out. I'm going to write a blog on the tech community site about these sessions. They are this afternoon at 12:15, I think. There's a session about intelligent meetings in Microsoft Teams. So we're going to show live events and how that works, how you can broadcast, and the integration with Stream, face detection, automatic transcription of the audio of the voices of the speech to text engine. So that's really cool. And tomorrow there's going to be a very deep dive session about Teams architecture, which I'm covering as well. So that should be really good. Yeah.
Oh, it sounds good. You've also been at the Teams booth as well, so it sounds like people can catch you there too.
Yeah.
Oh,
it was really, Teams is a hot topic, I think.
Yes,
And
I love Teams. I've managed to get it working in a few customer sites who were not using it. It was not why I was there. But what I did find was I just said, look, we're doing a business intelligence project. We need to collaborate. Use this Teams thing.
Yeah.
Why don't we try to use that? And I don't know what you think, but I think people tend to use it. They use the chat first of all.
Yeah.
And then when they realise they can chat to one another, that seems to make a huge difference. And then we start to put our files there. It's just gently, incrementally, a slow uptake, but I can really see it. It's so useful. I love Teams.
It is built to grow organically within an organization. It's really good at that. Yeah, I
and
agree.
I love the gifts, I do have to say.
Yeah.
There's always that. Oh, thank you both so much for your time. It's been my pleasure to speak with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for having us.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. I hope you enjoy the rest of Ignite, and I will make sure this goes up in YouTube. We'll also make sure the regional directors team know about it as well. It's been my pleasure to speak with you both. Thank you.
Excellent. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Jen.
Bye.
Thank you.